This truly is an Alice in Wonderland hearing. Within this little room, we are clearly living in two separate planets, two separate worlds. And whether the differences are influenced by the fact that the Koch brothers and ExxonMobil and the petroleum industry and the fossil fuel industry is pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into think tanks trying to confuse the American people, or we're just dealing with politics here, I really don't know. But to deny the fact that the overwhelming majority, some 98% of scientists who have published peer-reviewed articles believe not only that global warming is real, but that it is man-made. And to continue that discussion is, we're not sure, let's not talk about it, let's look at something else, is almost beyond intellectual comprehension. And I will say this, we have a lot of differences in the Congress, a lot of philosophical differences. But I predict that our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will look back on this period, and they will not be appreciative of the fact that members of the United States Senate have refused not only not to go forward in combating global warming, but even acknowledging the reality of global warming. Madam Chair, among scientists, this is according to the American Association for the Advancement of Science, one of the large scientific organizations in the world. Quote, this is 1 month ago, there is now overwhelming agreement based on multiple lines of scientific evidence that global climate change is real, it is happening right now, and it will have broad impacts on society. End of quote. And that's virtually what every major scientific organization, not only in the United States of America, but throughout the world, is saying. And it is incredible that we are not on the floor right now discussing serious legislation to cut back on greenhouse gas emissions. I think it was Senator Vitter who says, what about the cost? What about the cost? Well, let me talk about the cost. What about the cost of inaction? What will more droughts mean to agriculture in this country? What will more floods mean in terms of property destruction? What will climate change mean for national security? It is not only meteorologists, and by the way, not weathermen and women. In all due respects to weathermen, I'm not quite sure that they are part of the scientific community. But what you have is our national security people are telling us that if you see more drought and less food production, more drought and less drinkable water, you're going to have international conflict. Navy Admiral Samuel J. Lockyer III, who is the head of the U.S. Pacific Command, I think Senator Rona referred to this, recently described climate change as the biggest national security threat facing the region. Climate change, he warned, and I quote, will cripple the security environment probably more likely than other scenarios we all often talk about. End of quote. That's the national security issue. Now, to my mind, the time for waiting is over. We need bold action. The United States needs to do what we do best, is lead the world in a new direction. And I'm very proud that along with Senator Boxer, she and I have introduced legislation that will, in fact, impose a tax on carbon. Senator Whitehouse is absolutely right. People who are causing enormous damage to our planet are saying, we are cheap energy. You're not cheap energy. Coal and oil are not, quote-unquote, cheap energy if they are causing catastrophic damage to this planet. It is the most expensive form of energy. So, Madam Chair, I think the time is long overdue for us to move away from fossil fuel, to move boldly to energy efficiency and to such sustainable energies as wind, solar, geothermal, biomass. And by the way, when we do that, we will also create millions of jobs as we transform this economy.